came out to Sandia Laboratories here as an engineer, principally in the area of explosives. My feeling is that one of the most important things that America needs to have and keep is its security. Unfortunately, at this time in the world, the only way to do that is to be militarily strong. And I hope that our leaders can handle that strength in the right kind of way. I feel my job is to help to provide that strength for them and for the country.
He wants to be an engineer, but yet be very good at helping the mentally retarded. He wants to be Superman, I think. Maybe he doesn't, but he wants to, I don't know, maybe he really just wants to help David. I'm imagining it all. I think I imagine a lot of stuff. I have a very vivid imagination.
I got a bear, a zebra, a butterfly.
And what is this?
A noggin.
We had always wanted 3 children, but since we found out that David was retarded, I chickened out. I really did. I thought I couldn't go through 9 months carrying a child, not knowing whether that child was going to be a whole child or a normal child, so to speak. That's when we adopted Tracy. For 15 years, I was happy being housewife, being mother. And then I just found out that I just wasn't happy being in the house all the time. I couldn't understand why I was so restless.
God has really said yes to you in many ways. We forget all those yeses. And as I talk to you, I want you to think that I'm talking just to you. What does life mean to you? What is life really for you? Clarence Darrow must have had a real bad experience with life. Because you know what he said? Life is that which the first part is ruined by your parents, and the second part is destroyed by your children. Now, I hope we don't have that kind of an outlook upon our life.
11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Every other day could be like, right? Right. It's 7:30 right now. KRKE with Waylon Walker. You can look for mild days. No rain tonight either.
Got to go to school.
No trouble on the freeways this morning.
Yeah. So you know what that means? That means you've got to brush your teeth, you've got to get washed, and there's no time for TV. Do you want your vitamin now, David?
Finally get to sleep.
Or are you going to get it later? Good. All right. Now remember, when you finish there, go and brush your teeth. I got it, honey. I can't stand on the way. I'm late.
All right.
Okay. Bye. Bye. Have a good day. Definitely not. You got a late meeting tonight, right?
Right. But I'll go home and get the car for that.
Come. Let's see.
When we we came to Albuquerque. That was a turning point in our lives, and I felt that I'd been, well, let's say selfish in devoting almost all my time to my own education, obtaining the degree, the doctorate, for the previous 4 years. I'd, ever since, well, 5 years actually, ever since David was born virtually, I'd been in school full-time 1 year, and then for the next 4 years working nights almost all evening, every night, on my thesis work. And so I hadn't done virtually anything with the family for 5 years.
See, cross over. Don't forget that X.
X?
X.
Oh, the alphabet, huh?
No, not the alphabet.
B, W, X.
W, X.
Y, Z. Z for zoo, right?
What else?
The X. The X of it, X-ray.
X for X-ray, okay.
And B for baby.
Yeah.
Baby Nona, right here.
No.
Right.
No.
Oh, baby Tracy.
Okay, baby Tracy. What is C?
C, I died for. Meow.
What is that?
Meow.
What's a
Go get.
Ah, cat, okay.
Meow. A kitty cat.
At that point, it was very important to get David into school, and it looked hopeless for a while. In fact, we were so upset about the whole thing that we were just about ready to go on and move to California. See, if I couldn't get a job out there, I felt sure that I could. But we really didn't want to leave New Mexico because living here 2 or 3 months was enough to convince us that we wanted to stay.
Please welcome Jim Kennedy.
Thanks very much, Fred. I'd like to complete my own introduction. The most important reason I'm here is that I'm a parent of a retarded son, and that situation is something I don't want to hide. It's gotten me into some of the most interesting things in my life. This is my son, David, who's 12 years old. He's been in special ed programs since he was 7. When David was born, we were told that we should institutionalize him.
To which I looked at the doctor and I said, never, never, I will never do that. And he says, well, the choice is up to you. So we walked out and went home, and we just never said much to each other. And I felt, why me? And I don't know whether Jim ever felt that way. I don't think he did, but I did. I felt, oh, poor me. And then one day, about 6 months later, now David's 18 months, I was listening to the radio, and there was an advertisement on the radio about a home in Palatine, Illinois, that serves mentally handicapped, blind, deaf children. And when I heard that, that really shook me up, because David is not blind, he is not deaf, and usually Mongoloid children are born with bad hearts. David does not have a bad heart, so I figured I'm not as bad off, and I'm going to do the best with what I've got with this child, and I decided that I was going to work with him, and just to see and to prove to myself that Dave could do a few more things, and, you know, to be a little vegetable.
You want to go higher?
There it goes. UP up.
Show me how does Tarzan go? All right, you ready to get down?
Yeah. D-O-W-O, down.
Jim's never blamed me. You know, he could have, you know, said, well, it's your fault. You gave birth to that child. He's never said that. I've never blamed him. It was just something that happened.
Cur.
Cur.
Pretty good. Cur.
Cur.
That's better. All right, now let's just do it without a K. Good, David. Good.
When he started school, we were told that trainable, retarded children have no abstract thought, can't appreciate ideas like numbers and reading.
Okay.
4 more.
4 more.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3, 4.
3, 4. Okay, how much is that all together?
I know this is 1,
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
You might say, gee, I'm glad we made all that progress. There's a serious problem at this juncture. The problem is that while 9,000 children are now in special ed programs of various kinds, 5,000 children, in addition, have gone through this process, the very wrenching process for the parents, and in some cases the children also, of being evaluated, being referred for special ed, reconciling themselves, in the case of the parents, to the fact that the child needs some special help, and then finding that help not there. And so we filed suit in October of 1975 against the state of New Mexico, alleging discrimination against the constitutional rights of these children by denial of educational services. So we had to work very hard to get David into that program, and I knew very well that a great many other kids needed help of the same kind, but there weren't enough slots for them, and furthermore, lots of other parents wouldn't take the time that we had taken to see that their child was served. So I started working with the Albuquerque ARC to try to solve some of these problems in Albuquerque. But what we found was that the problem wasn't in Albuquerque, it was a statewide problem, and that it wasn't just retarded kids, it was all kinds of handicapped kids, learning disabled kids, blind kids, deaf kids, all kinds of handicapped kids that weren't getting anything like what they needed. And it was clear that I just couldn't live with myself until we worked hard to do something about that and try to get some kind of schooling, some kind of help so those kids could develop into real human beings.
On behalf of the members of the Albuquerque JC and our wives, the Albuquerque JCS, I would like to welcome you to the In-State Special Olympics meeting. At this time, I would like to ask everyone to join with me in the Special Olympic oath. Let us win, and if we cannot win, let us be brave in the attempt.
Okay, runners, take your marks, set.
That was good! 12 and 13 years old, Division 6. The winners are Peter Aragon, David Kennedy second, Jerry Apodaca third, Sean Holmes fourth, and Mike Wellner fifth.
I'm interested in that statement about we never said much to one another about David.
On the way home, we never talked about it much because we were in a state of shock. We asked him what to do, and this is institutionalize, which I replied, never. I'd never do that. I didn't know what the heck I was talking about at the time, but I just knew I wasn't going to do anything like that.
Jim, when you say that you were a student at that time and it was easy for you to lose yourself in your studies and not address yourself to this thing at home.
It was a very easy way out at the time, and it's easy ways out are those things that present themselves without thought. And it wasn't something I thought about. I don't want to talk about David. Didn't think about that at all. It just happened. There were plenty of other things to do.
Okay, let's go on a little further.
Well, I'm planning on going to UNM. I'd like to major in special education, and my dad gave me a list of questions to ask.
Okay, you say that you want to work with handicapped children.
Uh-huh.
Why do you want to work with exceptional children other than the fact that you have a brother who's mentally retarded?
Oh, because I know the situations. I know how they're not given enough of what they need. There's not enough people or enough funds or enough anything going for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I figure maybe...
What have you done with exceptional children? Where have you worked with exceptional children?
I've taught them religion.
In church?
For 2 years.
You worked with what
in
kind
summer
of
schools and
exceptionality?
stuff.
Summer schools? What one?
I don't know, a vacation Bible school.
What else
That
did you
was
do?
2 years ago.
It was 2 years
Before I got on drill team.
Oh, if you come to the University of New Mexico, I'm going to ask you, or whoever interviews is going to ask you, what have you done with exceptional children? And the answer that 2 years ago you worked with them, and now you're on a drill team.
Well, by then it won't be that way, though. By then I'll say, 4 years ago I worked with him, but then I was out for 2 years, but then recently.
Okay, if you do as much, or even half as much as your father's done for special education or handicapped kids, you can have all the time you want from me.
I don't like being measured up to my dad, you know, and say, well, if you do blah, blah, like your father. I don't think that's fair to me, because I'm getting measured already, and I haven't even had a chance to screw up yet. I want to be better than my dad. I haven't been able to beat him in anything yet, ever. The only thing I've ever been better than him in is skiing. And nobody knows that, because nobody ever goes when Dad and I go.
I know Nancy was feeling that David was getting all the attention, and she was left out. She probably was right. I don't know how exactly to handle a teenage girl. You know, how much freedom do you give a child? How much discipline does she need? Does she want? But she's got an awful lot of freedom. She can make an awful lot of mistakes if she wanted to. And you know, we've really gotten to the point in the last few years where we think that we've put in everything we're going to put in, and now we get to see what all that amounts to. You know, I can't help wondering how she's going to turn out and what her feelings are. But she expresses those feelings to Joan, not to me.
7:30?
Yeah, they're up at 5:30 this morning.
Okay.
Having a good time in the den.
Okay.
Romping.
Just a second. What about David?
Same time.
7:30? Do they know that?
They know that.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry.
Bye.
The trials and tribulations of being a built-in babysitter. Don't forget to give her this medicine and that medicine. I don't even know if I wanted kids, really. Dave, where's your pajamas? Get them on right now, fella. Because I get mad real easy. That's unfortunate, but it's true. I don't want anybody to tell me, you are going to make this for dinner tonight, and you are going to have the house cleaned, you know, and you don't have any choice. I don't want that. I don't know if what I want means to be married. I don't know if I want that or not.
Nancy, I'm going to dial into the computer. You want to come out and see some of my Fortran? Ah, good. Looks good. That's my number, so that it has a secret password for me. So I'll put that in there. And that's how it controls who can call in to run the thing, so nobody can cheat. And there's a certain set of commands that it'll ask me to give. And okay, so now it's asked us the question. It wants to know the fused quartz particle velocity in millimeters per microsecond. Okay, now that has to do with my experiments.
He wants me to know how to do math stuff so I can impress everybody. And they'll say, yeah, that Kennedy kid, yeah, she's got her head on. She knows what she's doing. And besides that, she can, you know, program computers too, so she can help us out a lot. And I could do it. I could handle that, but I don't know if you can do that. I figure, well, I could do it, I suppose, if I could. It would make Dad proud of me. And that's good.
And I'm erasing not only the Fortran version, but also the relocatable binary, the one that's compiled into machine language. Because Fortran is not machine language. Fortran is people language. I think the relationship that I have with my daughter is a great deal like what my mother had with me, and that's probably the model I'm using. I didn't talk very closely with my mother, and yet I had a good relationship with her. I felt like from the time I could even remember feeling 6, 7, 8 years old, that I was clearly a superior kid, and I could handle whatever problem was, and she knew that, and I knew that she knew that, and that was a very important feeling. And I'm trying to purvey that same feeling of confidence, the confidence that I have in my daughter, that my mother had in me.
He went out for senior class president. He got it. He sings solos in the church choir. He got 2 scholarships to the same school for different reasons, and he got scholarships to this and that, and he won the spelling bee. There was only, I think, one thing that he lost, a math contest that he lost because at the last minute, he changed his answer to the wrong one.
I think she can make as many friends as she wants. I think she has a good head on her shoulders. I think she knows when to call it quits if she doesn't like what's going on. I think she can control her emotions, maybe too much.
You're a basic loser. But I take it all in stride. I try and think of the optimistic things rather than the pessimistic. Sometimes. I'm basically a pessimist, but I have to keep my spirits up somehow.
I haven't ever known her to get in over her head. What I have known her to do is to be ready to quit before I think she should be ready to quit.
I went out for varsity, and I don't know, maybe I just wasn't good enough. So anything that I go out for, I lose. But I keep going out, but I keep losing. Except drill team, that's the only thing that I've ever made. Do you go bump, bump, or do you go bump, bump?
You guys want to start from the beginning again?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
This is the only part I know.
Did you really think you're a loser?
Yes.
No way. You just, I am sure that you can handle even the problems that you've had, and that's going to make you better because you've had them. I never had those problems.
I know.
You know, when you were leaving, this clip that comes with you in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You just said,
can't stand it when people compare me with my father.
I can't.
Well,
Sorry.
I agree with you entirely. I remember the same thing happened with my nephew Bob when he went to the same grammar school that I did, and he was 8 or 9 years
Everybody
younger.
does that.
That's a big problem. That's right. And so it's ridiculous and it's unfair and it shouldn't happen. But I guess I wonder why you yourself, when you say I'm a loser, are you doing the same thing?
Comparing me to you?
Yeah.
Do I compare me to you? No, I don't compare me. I try to beat you.
Oh, good.
I haven't. Wait.
There's no point to banging your head against a steel wall if you don't have to. What you want to do is put yourself in a situation where you can win.
But then it's too easy. I'm not going to do anything that's easy breezy and be able to win no sweat. That doesn't show anything.
Well, I agree. Good.
You want her to push hard, don't you, Jim? You don't want her to take an easy way.
Yeah, that's right. But I do want her to push hard. That's right. But I only want her to do that if she wants it. I don't, and I've tried to be careful not to push to that she should certainly take physics and she should certainly take all the hardest courses there are. I've done my share of urging along those various lines. And the latest one was Fortran here this last semester. But I want her to feel comfortable with what she's got, to want to be taking them herself. Otherwise, there's no way she's going to do well.
Nancy, you know, you're graduating 15th in your class of hundreds of kids.
700.
700 kids. 15th out of 700.
I mean, 15th, I guess it's good, but it's not top 10. It's not number 1. It's too far away from me. Makes me mad.
Do you feel your dad and mom are as happy when you don't succeed as when you do?
Yeah, because they know I tried. I didn't give up. Dad said I couldn't be in the family if I gave up.
So there are conditions for being in this family, then?
Yes, if I give up, I get kicked.
How does that
What
make
name
you?
would I have then? Nancy. Hi, my name's Nancy. Nancy what? Nancy.
How does that make you feel that you gotta do certain things to stay, be in good standing here?
That doesn't bother me. It'll make me a better person.
Proud to hear her say that?
I don't remember saying that.
You did too say that. I don't make those things up. It'd be easier to give up than to keep going, you know.
What, really? No, it wouldn't.
To you it wouldn't, because you always keep going.
No, that's right. It'd be terrible to give up, because then you can't, then you have no hope. Then you always got to carry around that failure to try. That's worse than failing to succeed.
Yes, but you see, I've been sitting here thinking about this. You've had many, many, many successes. She has not. And if she would have had 2 or 3 successes or more,
I agree. And
she would not felt like this. Even though what she's got, she should appreciate what she has and feel that she has not. It's a big flop because she's not. And I can't make her see it.
Let's roll it again. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Okie doke.
Thank you.
What? Okay. Which is a detonation chamber where we can shoot the explosives indoors and watch the response of the explosive with an interferometer.
This is a commercial DuPont explosive sheet material, which has never been tested for output as we're doing today, and a TNT booster and a plane wave generator that will sit on top like that.
Everything should go this time, Jim.
Right?
Okay, that's it. The reset. Okay, we're ready to go again.
We're charged. You're ready on the control board. Are you ready to open the camera?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right.
Go ahead and start opening the camera. Ready, OB?
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. In high school, I always thought that I was going to go into medicine somehow. And I felt that surely I could make the grades and finish the studies. Still felt that I could have, but I didn't go into it because I had qualms about the blood part.
I wasn't really sure that I could stand the pain and having to hurt people in order to help them and all that business. And never took it up. Joan should have gone to college too, but she didn't have that same confidence in herself, and neither of us had anybody really whispering in our ear very much. Well, you had one teacher, Mr. Boucher.
Yeah, Mr. Boucher. He thought I'd make a good teacher. Wish I would have listened to him. It seems all the friends that I went to school with, we all married our boyfriends from school. At the time, this was the way the thinking was. You marry, you stay home, you take care of your children. It is not like it is today. We just stayed home and took care of the house, and I was quite happy with it. And I thought, yes, now this is my duty, stay home, take care of kids, clean house, and raise a family. Now it's many years later, and I'm tired of being in the house. I want to get out more, so I can bring some news home. You know, Nancy will come home from school and tell me a few things that have happened. Jim will tell me a few things that happened. But I have nothing new to report as to what happened with my day. Same old thing. I mean, you know, the dishwasher doesn't work. Who wants to hear about things like that? They're just uninteresting, I think. Tomorrow, you do it yourself, right?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do.
We're not tomorrow.
No, come on, let's go here.
Right.
Because.
Mom,
Oh, David, come on.
Mom, what time?
Listen, you're doing talking and I'm doing the work. Grab your blue blanket up there and pull it. Pull it tight. There you go. Okay, come on now. What do you got to do with this?
No. I come.
I said so. Come on, under.
Mom, that's right.
No, come on. Let's get the bed made. You need your vitamin yet, right?
After this.
After you comb your hair. Okay. Get your pillow under here. It's tucked under the pillow. Lift under.
Like this.
Yes, I know. If you pick up under here, it'll go away. Come on, do some more until that's all straight. There you go. Now, doesn't that look nice?
You comb my hair.
Okay. Let's comb your hair.
All right.
Okay. And since I've lived in my own little world for a long time now, I thought I'd like to expand it. About a year ago, I was talking with a friend of mine, and she had said she had taken this class in fashion merchandising. And she told me a little bit about the course, and that I probably would like it. And I thought, well, yeah, I probably would like to do something like this. I had thought about going to school at one point before we adopted Tracy. And I decided I'll just give up on the school thing and start all over again. And I just didn't, I just put the school out of my mind. I just shoved it back in my mind. We decided to go ahead with the adoption. We had a lot of love to give, so we had wanted the third child, so here was our third child. You ready to make your pudding? Get the pudding out. I've just decided that I'm tired of the house, and I think Tracy's the type of little girl that can fend for herself pretty darn good. Okay. Can you get the milk? I never, pushed Nancy into doing. I always said, I'll do it. That too? Or when she got much older, I showed Nancy how to do these things. Because I was home all the time, and I did it. I always thought a mother should be with her children. So I'm going to try a little bit different with Tracy to see if my going to school will harm her in any way, or what kind of child she'll be when she grows up.
The reason we ask you to come in for an interview is we like to get to know our applicants, and we hope that we can help you choose the right field.
I see.
And I wondered if you'd like to visit the class.
Yes, I would.
We have classes going on right now, and if you'd like, I can take you over there.
That'd be fine.
Okay.
Real good.
Okay, we're in a different building, so if you'll follow me.
Okay. This is quite a place. I've never been here before. Yeah, I figure I've been in the house for quite a few years, so I thought heaven forbid anything should happen, I don't have anything that I could do.
When is the last time you had a job?
Oh. Before my oldest daughter was born in 1958. So that's a long time.
That's a long time.
And it's even longer since I've been in school.
Did you stay home by choice, or is this what you wanted to do at the time?
Yeah, this is what I wanted to do at the time. And my husband said, I want you in the house. So I stayed in the house.
You decided to stay home. So he won't mind the fact that you're gone most of the day?
He might find it a bit different. And I've warned him. I said, well, everybody's going to have to pitch in. There's going to be a little bit of a change around here. Everybody's going to have to do a little bit more than what they have to do now. And, I'll make it work out.
Crash. Mrs. Jumbo landed on the floor. The bed was certainly too small. Davy, I'm going to have to leave and I've got to go to a meeting tonight. Why don't we save it right here where the hippopotamus is, okay? And we'll start again tomorrow night. Okay? Where it says wham. We'll remember that and we'll do it where it says wham. All right? Okay. Righto. Put the books back, okay? And put that one on top. And we'll get it tomorrow. You want to stay home?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go to a meeting. Bye-bye.
We all suffer from Dad not being here. David, Dad doesn't hardly ever get time to... He plays with them whenever he has time, which isn't very often. And Dad gets bored of playing outside easily. Can't blame him.
In my own self, I think that I can do things that I don't really expect a lot of other people to be able to do. Now, you know, that's a burden. And I feel a responsibility not to let down the people that I could help in one way or another. And, you know, that certainly involves my family. That's my family first, maybe not first, but pretty close to first. But a lot of other people also that somehow are farther away from being able to help themselves than I expect my family to be able to do.
I write to Alala Mogordo, where they had the blinds. They dropped me. They said he was too old already. So see, in every place I was refused. And then I was, make me sick, and I used to cry, you know, and say, well, I wonder why they doing this to my boy, that he could learn something. Today he don't even know his colors.
You know, the guy's 28 years old.
28.
He can't read, he can't write, because the system never gave him a
and
chance.
And let me tell you something
and because
else
he was handicapped, and because he is a minority.
And I would like to ask to appear before the State Board of Education during their August meeting. I'd like to be on the agenda. I wanted to shine my shoes tonight, and I wanted you to help me, okay? But we're going to have to wait till tomorrow night. I got to go to a meeting with Pastor. Yeah, that's where I'm going to go tonight, okay? So
How do I?
So tomorrow night, you and me will polish my shoes, okay? You want to polish your shoes too?
Yeah.
We'll use the new shoebox that you just made. And I only have to go to one more meeting at church after this. I think 2 or 3 years ago I had 19 meetings a month on weekdays out of 21 weekdays. And you know, that gets to be insane after a while. I don't know how else the job gets done. I'm afraid it doesn't.
I have gotten very angry with him and told him, just don't join one more thing. I have gotten to that point where I've said, no go, buddy. One more thing and we're done. We're finished. I've had it.
And somehow maybe it seemed to me that I could, I wasn't really sure, you know, what I could do for my boy apart from love him and be with him whenever I could. But I knew I could work the other problem, or I knew I could have a hard crack at it. And maybe it's just sort of that the big problem looks easier than the one at home.
When you finish with school, where are you going to work? Like Dillard's or what?
Yeah, I'm hoping something like that.
Maybe you'll get a higher job than salesperson. Maybe you'll be fashionable.
No, I think I'll have to work up to that. I'll have to work up to that.
What does Dad think about you doing this?
Dad's just going to have to
cool down on the meeting.
Cool down on the meetings, and that's what he's not going to like. He's not going to be able to run out all the time and go to all his meetings.
Too bad.
My turn.
There seem to be a lot of feelings going around here about a man and his meetings. What?
It's true.
That's the most pronounced thing in the whole movie.
There's Jim, reading a book, saying, "Oh, David, gotta go to a meeting now."
Meeting.
Off he goes.
That's true. I can't deny it. So I'm escalating my my involvement to the point of dropping off. This next year, no meetings at church, and only a certain number of meetings around the state. Weekends.
Weekends. There goes the weekends again.
Why do you think you have overextended yourself in this area?
I think I just charged into it without realizing what all that entailed. I got in over my head before without planning it.
Maybe you are Superman.
I guess. Okay. Joan, do you ever do the same thing? I was telling Nancy. Do you think you'd have gone to college, for example, if you wouldn't have known me?
I don't know. It's hard to say. There's not a time when I didn't know you.
Well, I know I didn't encourage you to go because I didn't know whether I should be going. Neither of us knew.
I don't know. I'm not in that position. I don't know what I would have done then. I mean, I was sure I was going to marry you, so I just went on to work to save money.
To support you.
Paid for the honeymoon.
Pay for the honeymoon.
And my husband said that I would stay at home.
Right. Jim says, I want a wife. When I get married, my wife's going to stay home. So I said, okay. After 5 or 4 years of working, I was ready to stay home.
Classic male reaction. That's exactly the way I felt some years ago. Finally, in this last few years, whenever I've been so busy outside, and I finally realized that I couldn't see how Joan could stay home all the time that she was, how she could bear that. I realized that it wasn't fair to her. But now she's going to take up the schooling, so I think that's great. You nervous about it?
A little bit. Yeah. I don't know how that homework part's going to go. It's been a long time since I've been able to sit down
She
and
gets
read.
nervous about anything, though. Even before she had to do it, she'd be nervous about
Yeah,
it.
that's when you're nervous. You're nervous when you're not doing it, you see? When you're thinking about, I'm going to have to try to find the time to do this. That's when you're nervous. When you're doing it, there's no reason to be nervous.
Jim, you're always talking from this place of confidence, of having achieved. As Joan has said, failure isn't something you really know. Here are two people who say, I'm afraid, I don't have confidence, and you keep on saying to them, well, you should have confidence. I mean, you're terrific, you're great. They don't have confidence.
Well, I guess I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what that's like.
At one point, Jim, you said about not being a doctor, you didn't like the blood. Also, I didn't want to have to hurt people to help them. Now, what about weapons?
It's true that I'd feel terrible if these things were used, especially if they weren't used with proper cause and so forth. But I think the threat's really in the other direction. I think that I'd certainly feel far worse if I had decided not to be in the business of trying to help protect this country, and the country wasn't able to defend itself or wasn't able to convince our enemies, such as they may be, that we are strong enough that they darn well better not decide to attack. I want to keep us in that posture all the time.
What do you think your family is saying to you about, we all suffer because Dad isn't here?
I think in some sense it's easy for them to say that because I acknowledge it. Okay. I don't even argue the point. And so I think it's like saying apple pie and motherhood. I think we all agree. Therefore, it's easy to say what Nancy said. I'm not sure I completely believe it. Suffer is a stronger word than I believe.
I'd like to see you here when Tracy throws one of her actual temper tantrums.
She wouldn't if I was here.
Well, that'd take care of it, wouldn't it?
That's a good point. I think I'm doing this sort of because there's a void. And I'm filling the void, which is weeknights, by doing things that look to me to be constructive, at least in the short range. And it's not quite it's hard to compare, let's say, the usefulness of staying home with your family with going out to do some worthwhile thing. It's really a hard comparison to make.
You use the word filling a void. What is the void?
What is the void? The void. It's a void to stay home and watch television. If I stay home, if I have time off, even now, I sometimes sort of pace around like a tiger. I feel like I have to do something. Turns out.
How about in your marriage, Nancy? Are you going to stay home when you have your children? Or are you going to stay home?
I don't know if I'm getting married yet. Don't ask me that.
What about if you do get married? Will you stay home until your children are in school?
No.
So you don't want to lead a life like your mother and father have lived?
No.
How do you want yours to be different?
I want to be able to do what I want instead of being tied down and do what everybody else wants. I don't want to be a slave. That's what Mom was. She was a slave to us. I don't want to be a slave.
You'd do things differently if you were her age now?
Oh, if I was her age?
Yeah.
I'd probably be into the... Yes, I probably think much like her.
Now, you understand, of course, all this is based on the assumption that one or the other of you has already predeceased the other, because you two inherit in full from each other, or you take in full.
Yes.
And we're assuming that David will need a guardianship for the remainder of his life, or that he will need a guardian. That may or may not be true.
I want you to try it, David. I want you to pull your laces tight and make a knot. Good, good. Did you get a knot? Is it knotted? No, I want you to try it. Cross. Okay, now make one go under the other. Good, David. Good, David. Did you get it? Yeah. Great! Okay. Do the other one.
Now, there was one question. At one point, very early, you were talking about having Nancy as one of the alternative guardians. I think that she might feel that she has to if you put it in the will. She might feel...
Yeah, that's right. That's a danger and a concern that we have.
But, well, I wanted to tell you about some of the things we put in our will, Nance, so you know. It's kind of funny, you know, because we were 2 weeks ago looking at mausoleum plots.
I don't like that stuff.
Sort of gross.
Makes me think you're gonna die.
Well,
I know you're gonna die sooner or later, but make it later, okay?
Yeah. We hope so.
How would you girls?
I don't want to come into a big inheritance. Too young.
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, wow. Then don't ever die till you get rich.
The important thing is that there's nothing in this will that expects you to step into the guardianship role. And if you ever want to do that, that's up to you, and that's something to be negotiated in the future with whoever is the guardian at that time.
That's up David.
Assuming David needs a guardian, you know, assuming he isn't able to handle his own affairs.
I personally don't feel that you should be guardian of him. You're growing up with him, and I don't.
So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that?
And, you know, well, by then he should be able to tell me what he thinks. By that time I won't tell him that he has to go to bed. David, it's 8 o'clock, go to bed.
Well, he might have to be reminded of things like that, even though he is an adult.
Hey. Hello there, Kevin. Henry.
Hello, guys.
Come on in, please.
Finally made it. The budding artists have arrived.
Hi, what's your name?
This is Patrick.
Hi, Patrick. I'm Jim.
And I think you guys know Kevin. You've seen him in church
All
once.
right,
David,
Patrick.
you remember David.
This is David.
Hey, Dynamite. I always see my food.
Kevin, do you know David?
Yeah.
Good, good. Come on in.
Hey, so Sunday school.
Come on, guys. Get out of the way.
I was telling Joan a little while ago that the reason I stayed over so late with you folks the other night, she was giving me a business about that, you know.
Yeah, I knew what was going to happen. Here's midnight or so.
Right. I said, well, you know, I finally found a family that does just exactly as you say we should be doing, and you're trying to tell me all the time that got to be tough with the kids, and they'll perform, and they can do it.
Well, they can.
And, yeah, that's right. It's certainly true in greater measure than anybody believes of their handicapped kids, at least at the beginning.
Come on. I want to get up this myself.
We're out
by... here?
Twitter, you right here.
Dave, put your leg up. Come on, Kevin.
Come on.
He needs help. Wait. Here, let me. No, I can do it. Let me try your dad there. No, I can do it. You don't.
Stop Douglas.
Okay. I'm gonna sit next to you, okay? Here, let me get on. No, I don't need it. Wait. But you need to lift him up. Here, let me get on.
Daddy! Dad!
He needs help.
You can make it.
Hold on. Wait, let me try it at the other side.
It's not too heavy.
Wait.
See what you can do.
Dad! Come on, Kevin. I got you.
There you go. This way.
Let's go high.
Yeah, high. I did it! Dad!
Get off.
Come here! Push! Push us! Push us, Daddy!
Hurry up, pump yourself.
We can do it, David.
Just pump yourself, David. You can do it. There you go. I think that having David has made me do things that I wouldn't have even appreciated the existence of if it hadn't been for David.
You have to be exceptional to deal with it.
Well, you know, you might look at it as a make or break situation.
Well, it does, I think, Jim. I think statistics prove it that in almost every case, or in a large majority of the cases, when there is a severe handicap, one of the parents ends up leaving, just literally getting out of the picture.
It is
the
tough.
Father, I think, in most of the instances, but that's not necessarily so. That wasn't so in my case. My ex-wife was unable to bear the pressure or the responsibility. I don't really know what the term is, and that's all right. You have to do that in yourself.
I'm convinced that we're lucky to have David. That our family is better, the rest of us, because we have this handicapped child. That's true.
What kind of feelings are there in that for you, Joan?
I don't think I'd have as high an opinion of myself in terms of value as I now do. And so I think I feel fortunate, that David's helped to develop me. But I feel a little bit strange to feel that way, because look what's had to happen to David in order for me to be able to do that.
What did you learn about yourselves in the film?
Well, I really thought I was going to come across looking like a real ding-dong. I really did. I just didn't have that much confidence in myself.
You absolutely don't, do you?
But I'm not as much of a ding-dong as I think I am. And
That's the confidence thing again, you see.
Yes, I see. I've decided I'm going to do something, and I'm really going to do it. I've decided, I'm going to really do this.
And the film, in a sense, lets you see that more graphically, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I've got a little bit more confidence than I think I have.
How about you, Nancy? Is there anything that you learned about yourself in this film?
I was a little more honest than I thought I would be. I noticed that everybody made Dad the bad guy. Poor Dad. That's the only thing that I really noticed was the whole deal. Everybody made Dad the bad guy. Dad's always gone. Dad never does this. Dad's not here. They compare me to my father, and I don't like that. That's the only thing that I really noticed, and I was a lot more honest than what I thought I would be.
We've never talked about virtually any of these matters that we've talked about in the film, as a matter of fact. I guess my personal feeling is that people who explore the depths of their feelings are those who've been through psychoanalysis. Okay? And maybe that means there's something wrong with them. I personally have that prejudice, if you like. And not being a liberal arts type, as I've said before, I don't think about the philosophy of life until it's there.
What did you learn about yourself?
I learned a little bit about how the rest of my family looks at the same situation that I see. And I appreciate the problems, but I didn't quite ever see their perspective in exactly the same way as the film makes the point.
Do you think every family should do this?
Yeah, I think it's good for them. They can see what they are and what other people think.
Can Westinghouse afford it?
We praise thee,
he can do it.
bless thee, we worship thee, we glorify thee, we give thanks to thee.